Well, folks, here we are. It is Thursday, which means it is time for some more drawing together. Hope you're all doing well out there. I hope that you had a nice weekend, and I hope that everything was just relaxing for you, because, you know, one of the things we have to do these days is find a way to relax. So I always think that drawing is one of the best ways to do that. And I'm really glad that you're here to do that with me and to enjoy some drawing time. So without further ado, we should get to it. I'll say hi to some folks in the chat. We have Gamza here, and Sherry, and Sam, and RB, and Johanna, as well as Steve, and Ruth, and Mercurial. Hey everybody, nice to see you, and thanks for hanging out. Alrighty, so remember, with these drawings, it's not a big deal. If you don't get them right immediately, you can always come back and rewatch them, because as the old saying goes, if at first you don't succeed, skydiving is not for you. Okay, now we will get to some drawing. So grab yourselves a pencil, a pen, a stick, a crayon, a marker, a katana sword, whatever it is that you like to draw with, and we're going to get cracking. Now, to do these drawings, as usual, you have to be able to do a few simple things, and there are 3 of them. Now, those of you who watch the show know that those 3 things are a straight line, a zigzag, or a curvilinear line, okay, which could be a C curve, a U curve, something like that. Could be kind of a long one like that. Doesn't matter. You can do those 3 things, and I know you can, and you can follow along, and you can draw with me. We're going to start today's drawing with a little square. Check it out. We're going to do a square. Okay, it's not a big one, all right? Just like that. Just draw yourselves a little square. And give yourself some space. This is kind of a square-shaped drawing, by the way. Like, everything that we're going to draw today is going to fit within the dimensions of a square. Okie dokie. All right, next step is you are going to look at the middle of that square at the bottom, and you're basically going to draw a V inside of that square. So check it out. I'm coming from here up to that corner and up to that corner, just like that. Couldn't be simpler, right, gang? All right, now the next step is you're going to continue drawing that line out a little further, like that. And over here, same deal. See that? We just come right out of the corners of that square. And I wonder if anybody could guess what it is that we're drawing. Probably too soon to guess that. All right, now we're going to draw a straight line up, okay, and another straight line up. Got a lot of symmetry going on in this drawing. How long are these lines? Well, one thing you might notice is they are longer than the first set of lines we drew for our square. See that? This is about this long. This is a little longer. That's something to keep in mind. And then we're just going to connect those two like that. Very interesting. Alrighty, now while we're at it, okay, while we're up here in these corners, I want to try something here. I want to take this line, I want to keep going with it, but I'm going to turn it into a C curve. Check this out. I'm going to come out and curve up like that. Same on this side, okay, as Slidini would say. Same thing, same thing. And you might be thinking, oh gosh, I guess we're drawing a cow or a bull, but you would be wrong. You'd be wrong, because here we go. We're now going to draw a curve back this way to connect with this line here. Or if you like, you can come up from there and just connect like so, and come up and connect like so. Alrighty. And then right next to it, I'm going to do another curve that comes down here. Watch this. Down. Sorry, here we go. Down and connect. Down and connect. All right. Now, from the top of that square we very first drew, we are going to make a triangle that connects to the center of the top of this shape that we drew here. Okay, right here. Now, you could either do it from the bottom up, or you could do it from the top down. Doesn't matter. So up we go, like that, and up we go, like that. And all that remains now is to do a little circle here and a little circle right there. Very interesting. Alrighty, I wonder if anybody knows what that is. Now from the center of this square here at the bottom, also the bottom of that little triangle we drew, that little V shape, we're going to drop down, and the distance we're going to drop is just about the same as this line right here, the one we made after we extended out beyond that first square. So we're going to drop it down like that. That is going to be our next line. And we're going to come out then at an angle, say like you were going for just half past 4 o'clock, if you're looking at the hour hand on a clock. Okay, so that angle is going to come down at about there. Same length. See that? The line is the same length right there as this one. Okay. Then I'm just going to draw a line straight down to meet it, like so. Then I'm going to come out this way. Boing, like that. Okay. Notice that I am just past this line, not too much farther out than that. Okie dokie. And now I'm going to just curve it around like that. That's all I'm going to do. That's pretty simple. We come straight up from there. And then next to it, we come up again. And next to that, we come up one more time like that. So curve around and come up again, and then straight on back this way, straight on back like that. Okay, not bad. Now right here next to this line, I'm just going to basically echo it. I'm going to start here, I'm going to come down and curve like that. That's all I'm going to do. Alrighty, Johanna or Joanna. Sorry, I don't know how to say your name. Is it Johanna or Johanna? You have guessed correctly. It is, in fact, a kangaroo that we are drawing today. A kangaroo. I'm kind of surprised we've never drawn a kangaroo on this show, I have to say. All right, now, from this little area here on the cheek, okay, we are going to come straight back, right about here in the middle, okay, straight back at the same angle as this line. And we're going to stop right about where this line is, okay, if that's want to give you sort of an indication of where you want to go. So back we go like that. Okay, I'll make that a little thicker so you can see it better. Just like that. And we're stopping, see, the same place as where this line is. And from there, we're going to kick it out straight like that. It's a horizontal line. Meanwhile, on the underside here, we're going to take this line and we're going to pass it through and we're going to draw it just past this little corner. So down we go and stop right about there. Now, here comes the biggest C curve we've drawn in this entire drawing. We're going to start right in line with this, okay, the back of the arm here. We're going to come over about here, and I'm going to draw a C curve out and down. Check it out. Out we go and down, like that. So, big letter C, big letter C. And then I'm going to drop straight on down like that. Okay. Now next to that line, okay, about this far away, I'm going to draw a line that comes down a little farther. See? But not much farther, right? It's not terribly far. And then I'm going to kick this back at about, I'd say if I'm looking at a clock, about 2 o'clock. Okay, 2 o'clock angle. So I'm going to kick it back, bam, like that. Okay. Now, while we're up here, okay, we are going to carry this line straight, but right before we get to about this point, what we're going to do is we're going to start to curve it downwards. Check it out. I'm going to come straight, start to give it a little curve like that. So that is the shallowest of C curves, my friends. So we come out, curve it like so. Notice I'm not curving straight down, I'm curving down at an angle, right? This away, okay? And then I'm going to take that line and I'm going to keep it on going, right? But I have to make sure I don't take it too far down. Now, in order to prevent that from happening, the first thing I'm going to do is finish the feet so I know where my ground is. And the foot is going to come all the way out to these fingertips right here. Check it out. Like that. Big, big kangaroo foot. Now here you can just draw a line out and then you can curve it down to meet the bottom of the foot. And remember how we echoed up here? Well, we're just going to do that again. We're going to echo, stop right about there, come down, come outward, and echo and just leave it be. Okay, there's that back leg. All right. Now, this is going to make it easier for me to know how far down I need to come for the tail. The first thing I'm going to do is right here where we have this change in direction, I'm going to take a line straight back like so. All right, now not as far back as the back of the leg there. Okay. And now remember this angle here? Well, I'm going to change it up a little bit. All right, this angle is going to be a little more severe, coming down towards the ground like this. Okay, so down we go like that. And I'm stopping right where that foot stops. Okay. Now kangaroos have pretty long tails, and they have very strong tails too. Did you know they can support their weight on their tails? Pretty cool. And I'm going to then pull it all the way back to here. If you want to give yourself a little target, you can make a little dot somewhere on the page. Okay, so back we go with that nice long tail. And now I know where I need to stop with this line. So as it's curving, I'm going to come down this way and stop right about here and give myself a little target if I want, like that. See that nice little dot there? I say, okay, now I have something to aim for and just hit that dot. And all that remains is for me to go from here down to the back of the tail right there. Now you can do this as a straight line if you want. You can curve it slightly as it comes down. Doesn't matter. If you want to rotate your paper, that always helps me. I like to rotate my paper. It's easier for me to draw lines that way. When I'm trying to draw a longer line, it's easier for me to draw verticals or things that approach vertical than things that are more horizontal. Okay, and there is our happy kangaroo friend. Okay, now it's up to you to customize this drawing. And of course, you can set this kangaroo in any environment you please, right? So I'm going to shrink him down a little bit. Magic shrinking powder. Pull him over this way. And that is our draw along portion of the show today. Want to give him a little environment back there. Maybe some little plants or something, right? Maybe some other kangaroos could be hanging out. A little sun in the sky. Right? Up to you. Doesn't matter. Lots of things you can do to make that your own. Right? Maybe you give the kangaroo a nice little bowler hat. Right? I've heard kangaroos like to wear those. Up to you. It is your drawing. Alrighty. Now, it says here favorite books, but we're not doing favorite books today. We're doing art vocab. So I'm going to move along to the art vocab now. And today's art vocab is an interesting one. Look at this. Surrealism. So we are talking about surrealism. And what is surrealism? Well, why don't I just read it to you? A creative movement best known for its visual artworks and writings and the juxtaposition of distant realities to activate the unconscious mind through the imagery. Now, surrealists were very interested in dreams and dreamscapes and the idea of taking images that we normally don't associate with one another and putting them together in creative and interesting ways, in very strange ways. A lot of people would describe surrealist art and surrealist writing as having a sort of dreamlike, unusual, bizarre, sometimes a little creepy quality to it. Now here's a Salvador Dali painting. Salvador Dali, of course, one of the most well-known, if not the most well-known, surrealist painter from Spain. And he was working around the same time as Rene Magritte, who also, I will show you an image of his as well, painting of his. But here we have the persistence of memory, and you can see these melting clocks. And if you look closely right here, this is an eye on what appears to be sort of a part of a face, though not quite entirely an entire face. It's all very bizarre in the middle of a landscape, but the landscape is also including man-made elements that are simply blocks. All of it, color choices and subject matter. It's all a little dreamlike and a little bizarre. And that's one of the qualities of surrealism. Now, why don't we take a look at a painting by Magritte here. This is The False Mirror. Now, you may have seen this painting before. And perfect example of surrealism, taking the iris of the eye and filling it with a skyscape. Just to make it look a little strange, a little dreamlike, a little weird, right? And if you like this kind of thing, well, guess what? There's plenty to look at online. You can look up surrealist art. Check out Dali, of course, and his drawings and his paintings, and then Magritte. But there are a good maybe 8 or 10 artists who were working at this time, many of them inspired just before the real birth of surrealism by Joan Miro. You can look that artist up as well, M-I-R-O-T, or sorry, M-I-R-O, no T. I'm thinking about silent T's in French. Anyway, that is today's art vocab, surrealism. Surrealism. Very interesting movement. And as I mentioned earlier, also not limited to painting, but there were written pieces as well. There were books and even plays that were surrealist. So it was a pretty broad movement in creativity, generally speaking. All right? Hope you enjoyed that. We are now going to move on to the animal and activity. Now, in the animal and activity game, as you may recall, you suggest to me an animal in the chat doing something strange, weird, unexpected, funny, something most animals don't normally do. We've had animals playing all kinds of sports and games and just doing all kinds of neat things in these drawings. They're always different, they're always unique, and I always count on you for your creative ideas, and we come up with something fun every time. And it is now remaining for me to get my nice light blue color so that I can draw my sketch. Okie dokie. And then I'll look in the chat for your suggestions. Let's see. Well, to kick things off, we have a fox lounging and eating grapes. We have some alliteration here, gang. A typing Tasmanian tiger. A hippo playing billiards. That's funny, RB. We have juggling. Farah, what is juggling? Tell me the name of the animal that is juggling. A lizard ziplining. I love that, Jessica. We've never done a ziplining animal. An octopus eating spaghetti. A koala playing chess. A crab juggling shrimps. A sheep feeding ducks. A pangolin, or is it pronounced pangolin, playing the violin. I have to look that animal up. Wow, you guys come up with some interesting ones. An armadillo skydiving. Goodness gracious. And finally, Stephen says, a swan reflecting an elephant. Very surrealist. I like it. Very surrealist. An octopus eating spaghetti. Did I miss that one? I like the ziplining one. Which animal was that again? A lizard ziplining. That to me is really funny. Okay, Jessica, you got it. A lizard ziplining. So here we go. We will start with our sketch. And for our sketch, we want to determine about how much space we need for the drawing. So I'm thinking the lizard's probably going to take up about, so his head will be about this big, and his arms will be coming up like this, holding onto that handle for the zip line. And that goes up to that little thing, so we'll move that down. And I'd like to have his body hanging out this way, and his little lizard tail out behind him. This, I think that'll be good, and I'll get his head sticking out a little farther. It's sort of like he's craning his neck forward. Let's have his tongue doing that. That's kind of funny. And one little lizard arm this way. I like this lizard to have some like cool little stuff on his tail, on his back, little spiky things. And one hand wrapped around this way, and the other one back right behind it. Whoop, whoop, like that. Alrighty, and then actually let's get that zip line facing this way. I think that feels pretty good. Okay, make that a little smaller, slide it over this way. Get our kangaroo moved over that way. And I will put this on a separate layer so that I can get rid of sketch where I don't need it. I'll knock it back a little bit, let's say 50%. That's pretty good, I can still see it clearly. Grab my darker color here. And let's see what I can do in the remaining 5 minutes that we have here. All right, we're gonna do, woo, give him a funny face like that. And like I said, I want to have some little bumpy things there coming out the head. And then we're going to have a little lizard belly. Like that. And then on, right on into that tail. And then we'll get these nice feet. Here we got one there and one kind of curling around that way. And a few more of those little spiny, spiky things, whatever they are back there. Okie dokie. Let's not forget that little tail, pardon me, tongue detail that we mentioned. Get that tongue out that way, like that. It's kind of funny. And now for the little lizard hands, the fingers. Wrapping around there, 1 and 2. And there we go with that one. And these, of course, are going to connect to our main, I don't know what you call this. I'm not an expert on zipline terminology, gang. That's just obviously not my area of expertise. But I think this sort of approximates what that's supposed to look like. Gotta have those action lines, right? So we know that the lizard is in motion. We hide our sketch, and there is your ziplining lizard. Little ziplining lizard action for you. Hey, very fun. If you want, you know, you could add a little bumpies for some scales and details and things like that. But you know, we always have to do these in such a short amount of time. Sometimes we don't have time for all those fun little details, pardon me. But anyway, well, thanks, gang, for hanging out for some more drawing action. I hope you enjoyed it. Another day, another drawing, right? So remember to watch these back if you need to check them out again and relearn how to do anything. They're all on YouTube, and you can just search for Draw Along with Kyle. Invite a friend to watch next time. Nice to have folks, the more the merrier. This Friday I have my master class, and tomorrow we have another episode of the Draw Along Show. Hope to see you there, and until then, I will say take care of each other, take care of yourselves, remember to be kind. Ciao for now.